Let's talk about beef tallow. Now, this is clarified beef tallow, and I came about this huge lump because I wanted to make these, which are crispy beef cracklings basically. And I went to my local butchers, and I actually went to two local butchers. One of them I paid about £20 for 3.3 kilograms, and the other one gifted it to me for free, and I managed to render down what you saw there. That's clarified and been done with water. But today's video, I really want to talk about tallow, how I'm going to be using it, what the benefits of it are. It sounds incredible. One of the first products that I was working with was looking to make my own carnivore bars. They are protein, bits of meat and fat. But with this one here, I made a little bit of a boo-boo and used too much tallow. And so I've not put that video out yet because I wanted to make it again and make it better. And so this is the other one. Can you see the difference in the tallow that's running through that? This is the one that I first made. And I used way too much tallow at the end. I mean, it was topped with all lovely bits like honey in there. I was really looking forward to eating it, but this does not make for a very nice texture at all. And then so this is the second one I made, where this is black pudding and mince crisped up and then mixed with a small amount. And this was 2 ladles of tallow. So it's 500 grams of mince, a packet of black pudding, and then 2 ladles of beef tallow just to hold it all together. And these are a bit more sturdy. These ones are full of fat, and I mean, some of you may like the texture, but I personally didn't like chewing on this bit here, so I wanted to make some. I'm going to melt this off so that I've got the contents of it, but not this sort of thick layer. And I'm just going to wrap these in some greaseproof paper, and then I store them in the freezer. Let's jump into the tallow healing benefits. And so most of the videos that I found on YouTube focus on skin, and it is incredibly powerful for skin. It is deeply moisturizing because it mimics the skin's natural oils and penetrates deeply without clogging the pores. It is rich in fat-soluble vitamins such as vitamin A to support skin regeneration and anti-aging, vitamin D which enhances immunity and healing, vitamin E for antioxidant protection from environmental damage, and vitamin K to support skin tone and repair. It is anti-inflammatory and soothes eczema, psoriasis, rashes and acne. It heals wounds, scars and burns and accelerates tissue repair. It balances the skin barrier, supporting lipid layer and healthy microbiome. It is non-comedogenic, so it doesn't block the pores and is suitable for all skin types. It is naturally antimicrobial and protects against infection without disrupting the skin flora, and can be used on lips, hands, face, feet, scalp and sensitive areas. And it's incredible. I mean, in this research we were looking at yesterday to try and understand everything from multiple different perspectives, because that brings balance, this guy made his own sun cream with it. It's a better way of protecting your skin from sun, apparently. And I need to do some research into that and ask the right questions and look at, you know, what actually is going on when you apply this particular item to the skin, what happens when those certain rays hit your skin and how does it protect it. So it's very, very fascinating. And there's loads of videos on here that will go into much more detail about tallow for skin cream and get rid of your moisturisers. I don't put anything on my face because I am allergic. But that is the physical and skin section. And then it went on to tell me about hormonal and internal support when used topically and energetically. So it supports hormone balance because fat is vital for hormonal function and detox. And there's a really interesting way that we can look at this, because when the narrative of depopulation is afoot and we have the largest number of people that are infertile, both male and women, we have to ask ourselves what's happening, because we wasn't like this 100 years ago. This has been something that's happened, and a lot of people liken that to the time that we were introduced to the food pyramid with all the carbohydrates products at the bottom and everything else that's good for you on the top. And at the same time that we've seen that, multiple layers of mistruths have come onto the field, so it can make the environment quite confusing. And so I'm interested in exploring how the body functions, why my body's gone into the state that it's in, why my body shut down reproducing itself very early on at 19 years old, and if there is a way that I could possibly reverse that. because I do want to become a mother. I'm 39 in a couple of months, and that is something that I do want if I can. And so this is why I'm going with this. The fact that this supports hormone balance, and fat is vital for hormonal function and detox, because cholesterol and all that good stuff is, you know, turns out beneficial for the body. It's part of the body's natural function, so why would you want to stop your body from functioning in the natural way? I just don't get it. You've got one narrative over here that says we must reduce population, one narrative over here that says stop eating cow, and one is feeding the other. So it's important to pay attention to the the subliminal patterns of information, because critical thinking. We need to be using our critical thinking to understand, is this truth? How can I trust myself, and how can I trust my gut? Follow your own journey, not what someone tells you is true on the internet, because you don't know who they are. It takes 30 seconds now to get ChatGPT to write you a script that's completely inaccurate, shove it into an AI generator voiceover thing, and it will give you a video that gets viral. And people are listening to that. It becomes a sound in their field, and they start to believe it. And then it becomes repeated over and over and over again. And repetition means, oh, lots of people are saying it, it must be true. Step back. This is what we have to do. This is what I'm doing, taking a step back. And so it's also safe to use in pregnancy. It nourishes the skin and helps prevent stretch marks, which is very interesting. It supports liver health. So when taken internally, ancestral diets, it can support your liver health. And nutritionally dense, so food grade fat that supports internal systems if you consume it in its pure form. And so that was very, very interesting. Also supports with nervous system healing, so it can be quite grounding because it stabilizes the energy field and connects you back to the earth element. It is soothing to the nervous system to calm overwhelm, anxiety and overstimulation, and I suspect that's the fat content that helps with the cortisol levels. And I don't know about it, I'm not an expert, but that was just a whole pure intuitive thing that came through, like, yeah, that would make sense from where I'm at in my learning journey. It supports energy regulation during trauma release and healing work, and it has EMF buffering qualities, so fat layers can absorb and reflect energetic interference, which is very, very interesting. I don't know enough about that. Sure, we're going to do some videos on that coming up, but EMF buffering qualities, what an interesting concept. Energetic clearing when used in rituals, and it holds frequency, so it can be intentionally programmed with energy, sound or intention, which is, we know this is where the science is going, right? Look at Veda Austin's work with water, look at Dr. Emoto's work with water, and there's so many individuals that are doing exploration with the consciousness, the memory and the structure of water and how beneficial it is. It then makes sense that the tallow can do the same. And so as we get new information coming in, we really need to rebalance what we've already known, because as new information comes in, we have to go, okay, then if this is now what we're thinking, then what happens to all these other little things that I've stored in my memory? And it's a case of relearning, because the program runs deep. That was just a really quick rundown for the physical skin healing, the hormonal and internal support, and the nervous system healing, because it's just like liquid gold. It's so fascinating of what it can do. I'm looking at making my own deodorant with it. I'm looking at making my own hair shampoo to add a little bit of softness. I've turned it into a hair mask just to use it up on the first day, and it made my hair very, very soft. What I don't recommend you do is you add it to castor oil as an experiment, because that stuff doesn't come out when you add shampoo on your hair. Definitely don't make a hair mask with beef tallow and castor oil, because that stuff will not come out on the next shampoo. It took the next shampoo to get that stuff out. Maybe I didn't rinse it properly, but I don't know. Yeah, don't recommend that. But beef tallow on its own, wonderful. I hope that you've enjoyed this video. If you like this kind of content and you're looking for an alternative way of looking at your healing journey, ways to fuel yourself and improve your experience and, thrive and all of that beautiful, beautiful stuff, then drop a subscribe, hit a like, drop me a comment, tell me where you're at on your journey. And if any of this resonates, especially if some of you just don't know what to think with your diet anymore, you got so far down one way, what was working for you is no longer working for you, and now you're sort of like, where do I go from here? Because I'm right there with you, and I am really hoping to get to the bottom of establishing the best diet for me on what makes my body thrive, and hopefully reversing some of those conditions that I've developed. So until my next video, you have a fantastic week ahead, and I will see you when I next come online.